Hi guys, Melissa here from Alive Refurbish. In this week's video, we're going to be transforming a beautiful hutch with the help of a handheld sprayer. Now, over the years, I have used several sprayers to help me in my furniture refinishing endeavors, and I have found that there are some best practices that apply no matter what type of sprayer you use. So if you want to learn about that or just want to watch a makeover, stay tuned. When I find pieces as beautiful as this one, I think to myself, what can I do to it so that if the previous owner were to run into this piece again, would regret the fact that they donated it to the secondhand store. For this piece in particular, I'm going for an open shelf concept, so I am removing the upper doors and removing the hardware. To avoid misplacing the original handles, which I'm planning on using, I'm putting them in this plastic bag. I'm using this crater cleaner, and you're gonna see why we always clean our pieces before we start sanding. Isn't it a little gross? If I don't do this before I sand, when I sand, all that is gonna get pushed into my wood. To fix a large couch that's at the bottom of this door, I am using some Quickwood. Quickwood is a two-part product. You knit it together until it's monochromatic, and you have a few minutes to work with it, and within 30 minutes it's ready to be sanded. Since I had a little bit of extra, I just went ahead and used it to fill in these holes. My vision for this piece is to sand the shelves down to bare wood, and everything else is going to be refinished in a neutral color. I decided to remove the upper backing just to make it easier for myself to sand the shelves to bare wood, but I apologize because I completely forgot to record that part. Just be aware that if you ever work in a tall piece like this, even if you're not gonna sand the shelves to bare wood, you still have to sand them. It does make your life a lot easier if you remove the backing. Once we've removed some of the latches that prevented the doors from opening, there were some really deep holes, so I just cut some dowels to size and then filled the rest with some wood filler. I should have really added some wood glue before adding the dowels, but they were pretty snug, so I'm not worried that they're gonna come off after I add this wood filler. If you ever use dowels like I did though, it is a best practice to add wood glue. Once all the repairs were sanded, I am ready to clean my piece, and I'm using this phosphate-free TSP substitute. Now that all the repairs have been made and my piece is ready for paint, I'm gonna let everything dry overnight and start taping tomorrow. To protect the shelves from any overspray, I'm using this painter's plastic tape, along with some frog tape. This hutch is made with mahogany wood, which is a wood that's kind of a pain in the butt in the refinishers world, because it always filters through the new finish unless you apply several coats of primer. So I'm gonna be applying 3 coats of white primer on this baby. Now this right here is not my proudest moment. It's one of those moments that you wish you could rewind, but it is real life. I just cleaned my mess and kept going. Following are some best practices regarding spray painting. Hold on the gun perpendicular to the surface. To avoid any drips, move the gun before pulling the trigger and continue your stroke after you release the trigger. For an even surface, overlap each spray pass by 30 to 50%. For corners, spray directly into the corners, spraying each of the adjacent walls that form the corner evenly and in one pass. If you're aiming for a very smooth finish, I would suggest that you sand between each primer and paint coat. I normally use a very fine or a 320 grit sanding paper. For this makeover, I'm using the color Cashmere, which is one of the newest colors from Fusion Mineral Paint. I apply 2 coats of this beautiful neutral color. If you're a tall person, this tip is probably not gonna make much difference, but for us, the short people, we need to make sure that we work within our reach. When you spray, only work within the area that you can easily reach while maintaining proper spray gun position. This last one right here is probably one of the most important tips. When you spray, make sure you move your entire arm and don't bend at the wrist. Since I'm a big fan of the paint and wood contrast, and I just want to bring some of those red tones in this wood down, I'm doing a color wash. So I'm just diluting some paint with water, applying it, and wiping it off with a wet rag. For the shelves, I'm using the exact same technique, color wash, and I'm using the same color throughout the piece. For this technique, just let the watery mix sit for a couple of minutes before you start wiping it with the wet rag. You can repeat this technique again and again until you have achieved the desired results. Now that my paint has fully dried, I am applying my favorite top coat, High Performance from General Finishes. And all the things that we just learned about spraying work the same way for primer, paint, and a top coat. I have a bonus tip for you, and that is to vacuum around your piece so that you suction every particle, every little debris or a piece of trash or anything that could be surrounding your piece before you apply your top coat. Otherwise, if there is anything around it and you don't clean it beforehand, the air that comes out of the sprayer can push it onto your piece and then apply the top coat over it, and it'll be noticeable and you will be very upset about it. So I'll just try to prevent that by taking that extra step. Since I love this type of hardware, I decided to keep it and just give it a good scrub before I spray painted it, and mix a couple of different wax colors to highlight the little details. Here it is, looking bright and fresh. I wouldn't mind keeping this piece if I had a room in my house. There are so many pieces I have kept in the past. I have no room, but I am really pleased with the results. Let me know what you think of this makeover in the comments. If you were the previous owner, what would you do? Would you want to take this piece back? Would you regret the fact that you donated it in the first place? Or do you wish you would have brought it to me so I would refinish it for you? Let me know in the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully next time you see a spray gun, you won't feel so intimidated about using one. To subscribe if you haven't, and if you already have but have not turned on your notifications, please do so that you'll know next time I post a video. And don't forget that just like there is hope for these pieces of furniture, it doesn't matter how tough things get, there's always hope for you. Until next time.